Welcome back to another creepy and woke TikTok reaction video that will have you questioning reality. Let's get right to it.
They say we get Wi-Fi and signals from satellites, thousands of miles in space floating above us. But here's the question. If your signal comes from space, why does it drop when you drive past a building or a wired pole? Why do they build massive cell towers every few miles? If the sky is already filled with satellites, it's because the story ain't adding up. They want you to believe you're connected by space tech. But the truth is, your signal is local, ground-based, tower to tower, wired grids and relay points, satellites. That's the illusion. A cover story to keep you looking up, instead of looking at how much control is built right here, on Earth.
Thanks.
And those towers? They're not just for your phone. They're part of a bigger web. Surveillance, radiation, behavioral control, all sold to you as faster internet. You ever wonder why your Wi-Fi crashes during a storm, but a satellite is supposed to beam through clouds and lightning perfectly? Make it make sense. They feed you space fantasies, but the control is grounded, literally. So next time your signal drops in your own city, ask yourself, if it's really from the sky, why can't it pass a tree?
This video is meant to awaken the ones that are still asleep, the sheeple to what's really going on in this world and who's really running this world and why this world is backwards and ran the way it's ran.
Like now with the former president?
Well, you know, I assume it's well, I don't know. I really can't tell you. That's probably a question for him.
Relationship like?
I, Larson Anders. Son.
E ao mesmo tempo nós não vamos parar por aí. Já estão encomendados. Tem que pedir uma pastilha. Yeah, that's me.
Just a minute, please.
Para eliminar.
Pay attention.
Chega, é muito. Já estão.
We'll be right back.
That's better. Never be ashamed of who you are. You're warriors. Be proud. So what if the federal government scatters your people to the wind? What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Showtime. É muito. Já estão.
Oh, hell no. Now, if you have never heard of the Reptilians, if you never heard of the Draco Reptilians or reptilian humanoids, this video is here to awaken you. If you've never seen the movie The Fifth Element with Chris Tucker, go check it out. It's a must watch. Chris Tucker and Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
You see, the earth is hollow. In the center, the other rails are not as nice as I am. They hate your kind. What do you want?
I need you to bring my people here, to the hollow earth.
So you can ruin Agatha, like you have ruined the whole planet.
Only my followers. Only the Jobsists. We of all people appreciate what you've done here. We will maintain it in perfect harmony.
Yeah, you see how they twist the facts in that, man? Like, these are ancient beings. To me, in my humble opinion, I believe those are some of the fallen ones. Personally. Let me know what you think down below. I know everybody has their own opinion, and that's cool. Just let me know down below in the comment section.
So did any of y'all just so happen to catch that video with the Arab dude that was giving the speech and his voice started sounding like a reptilian? And you know, my first impression was this is AI, and I didn't really think nothing about it, right? But I just so happened to rewind it, and I kept looking at the eyes of the people who were standing around, and I kept looking at him, right? And I kept looking at his face and all this, and I just, you know how you just zoom in on some stuff, right? This coming from the general, my personal opinion. That was a real reptilian. His voice, you know how everybody went silent in the room, right? And then when he tried to get it back and drink that water, for real, he tried 3 times to drink the water and he couldn't get his voice back, right? That's a shape-shifting reptilian. Y'all go check that video out. For those of y'all who've seen it, I want y'all to give me a comment on what y'all opinion is with that, because that's spooky. Look at the people's eyes around them. They was in horror. They knew it as soon as they... He went from talking like a regular dude to talking like a reptilian. And he just looked like this, like he tried to play it off and... earlier said he couldn't get it back. I don't know, man. Some people ain't gonna believe it. I happen to be one who do.
Bro, my quarterback from high school just got arrested for being a $300 million oil kingpin for the Mexican cartel. Bro, his name is Tyler Jensen, but we just found out that might not even be his real name, bro. He played quarterback at my school, then went on to play for Louisville and Cal. Bro, we always knew their family was rich, bro. They always had the mansions, the cool cars, and all that. But we did not know they was working for the cartel. They were caught smuggling 3,000 shipments of stolen oil through the Texas facility. This is not no little petty crime. This is like an international scale thing. The crazy thing is, bro, one day my team had to dine and dash because we thought Mr. Jensen right here was going to pay for our meal. When it gets time to pay the bill, he's like, no, I'm not paying for all y'all boys. And he was out here getting money from the cartel. What? My boy is facing some real charges right now. And the crazy part is he either has to go to jail or he has to snitch on the cartel. And if you don't know, if you snitch on a cartel, they will hunt you down. I don't really feel bad because, you feel me, he was lying to us this whole time, but this is crazy.
Crazy work.
40.
Drop it! Drop it! Drop it, son!
Go ahead and put it down for me, okay?
You're not in trouble, but you have to drop that and come talk to us, all right?
If there's a magazine inside the magazine well, but they're playing with the gun back and forth. The one in the blue is trying to take it from the one in the orange.
Put it down, baby.
Just drop it, buddy.
Put it down, baby.
Man, where are these people's parents?
And now the kid in the blue and green has a firearm.
I need you to put it down, baby.
Let's not do that, bud.
We have trying to speak with these kids.
Sean, can you put it down, babe?
The sooner you put that down, the sooner we can take you home. We can go see your mom. Sean, this isn't a game no more. We're not playing a game right now. This is serious.
10:30 speaking with 2 platform.
Can you put it down for me? Now Sean has it. Sean, can you just toss it to the side, babe? Let's make this easy. Because we want to help you. We want to help you.
I want to try to do a warning, something.
Put it down, Sean. We don't want to hurt you, okay?
I just don't want to fucking...
Put it down, Sean.
I really don't want to fucking 40 a kid right
We
now.
don't want to hurt you, and we want to help you, okay?
Aim and fire.
It'd be...
48.
Put it down, baby.
40 going out. 40.
Look at this boy.
Drop it! Drop it!
Now, if he was, you know what, I ain't even gonna say it.
Drop it now. Drop it, both of you.
I don't even have the gun. I don't have the gun.
But they couldn't do that with Tamir Rice, though. But we ain't gonna make it about that. We just speaking facts, man, on what we see. You're like, come on now. That's crazy.
Well, it seems you guys are liking all this Hollywood tea. Well, let's get a little more started. Well, see, I told you they banned my other page, but now I can give you all the tea. What's really going on? So let's discuss how you know anybody who has gone through certain channels that they're in this thing. If anybody's ever been through the show Star Search, that's a recruitment show. If they ever went through SNL, that's a recruitment show. If they even went through Putting on the Hits, if they went through any Andy Cohen interviews, those are all recruitment and setup for this game they're playing. Now see, what makes people say, well, why would they do this? Why would they join? Well, see, a lot of people also get signed in by their parents. So a lot of people who got in this organization didn't know that was a protocol. So even some of our famous ones, if they went through Star Search, they're in it. So go back and do your homework. Who's all gone through Star Search and now is famous or went through some drama? Also, another thing that they don't tell you about this when you join, and for those who want to know how do I know my recommendations, if you know my history and check all one of my old pages down, you'll see that I was in. And a couple people that were trying to recruit me in was a makeup artist that was very famous for doing all. And that's another way to get you in. They make you feel like you're being selected and you're chosen. And once you get in this thing, it's really hard to back out. And so people say, well, why don't they just quit? Because then they want to offer to barbecue your grandmama. So you sometimes have to sign people up so they don't do damage to you. So these are some little more tricks and secrets to the Hollywood elite secret society of Freemason. Alright, so if you want to know more, just let me know.
Hey, if you know, you know.
This is gonna blow your mind. This is the real Tartarian original family lineage. Okay, this is going back really far. We're looking at like 11th, 12th century. That is still, I think, the Hapsburg War. It's amazing. The shield. The shield is the same thing. It's the same shield. He's also carrying something that I've seen in China, because I have traveled extensively around East Asian countries, especially Hong Kong and Taiwan. That is a very important urn. That is on top of all the Taoist temples. It's crazy. That it actually is also associated with one of the three kings that visits Jesus. Incense, I think one of them was gold, incense, frankincense. And this is the Coburg Moor. Must be around the 8th century when Europe was invaded by the Moors, the Tartarians, or the Persians. They built their buildings with mortar, a combination of both empires' names, the Moor and the mortar. Nobody's ever said anything to me about this. I worked this out pretty much myself, so your intuition doesn't matter, your background, your education, your profession is irrelevant. It's intuition, it's genetic memory. So that's the Coburg Moor. That's one of the three families that combined to create the British monarchy. One of the three families that was combined to create the British monarchy that escaped and went to Europe in the 1800s to escape the revolutions which began in France when everyone got beheaded, and the Bolshevik Revolution in Russia when one of the three Tartarian kings was murdered. And everything that has happened since in our modern history from World War I till today has happened because one of the three Tartarian kings was killed. Were they all related? Well, are you ready for this? It's gonna get even crazy. I also wanted to show this. There is a lot of this information online. This is another one of the original Tartarians, one of the original Moorish Tartarians when they were combined, Morocco, Algeria, Egypt, which wasn't in Africa, but I'm not doing that today. Okay, wait a minute. Hang on, really? This is the only one that I have seen myself. This is a king of America, probably the first king to ever invade Europe. Yeah.
that's all rich culture, man. People be thinking that these wars and battles and everything are about, you know, fame, or I mean not fame, money and power and race, white and black. Nah, man, this is about bloodlines and genetics, man. That's what these are about. Bloodlines and genetics. Don't forget it. It's always been about that throughout our history.
يا أهلا بيكم. يمكن موضوع غريب جدا وناس كتير قوي بتتكلم عليه، وهو موضوع ما يطلق عليهم الريبتيليانز أو الزواحف البشرية. الراجل اللي قدامنا ده مش مهم نعرف هو مين بالظبط ولا مركزه ايه، ولكن ركزوا معايا على رقبته وحركة رقبته قد ايه هي تشبه حركة الضفادع زي ما احنا بيوضح لنا الفيديو اللي قدامنا. الحركة نفسها الخاصة بالراجل اللي هو بيعملها هي حركة تميل أكثر إلى الزواحف وليست للبشر. الموضوع ده غريب وممكن ناس كتير جدا تكون معترضة عليه، ولكن في دلائل كتير جدا 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 بتؤكد أن هذه المخلوقات بتعيش بينا، ومن ضمن إمكانياتهم هي التشكل بالشكل البشري. اللي قدام حضراتكم ده نموذج لأحد البشر اللي يقال إن هم في الأساس من الزواحف أو ما يطلق عليه اسم الزواحف البشرية.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a giant lizard on the loose.
People say they're the lizard people and they walk around like a lizard. No, there's actually a race of the jinn. They are actually looking like lizards. If you could see them in their true nature, they're green and has scales. And they don't show their nature because they can be killed at that state. If they be killed at that state, it's finished for them. So as soon as they veil themselves, you can't kill them like you can kill other things. So there's ways to go after them, but they veil themselves. So 99.9% of human race, once something is veiled, you can't swing something at it, you can't fire something at it, it's veiled. But it's a race of these creatures, and these creatures enter into people and overtake their homes, their life, their wealth. Now, do they do that for just a group of poor people? They may not use that energy for that, but you can imagine they would go after, you know, very significant individuals on this earth and immediately acquire all their money, all their bank accounts, all their homes, all their corporation, everything would now be under the command of that jinn. And he will now invite all his other nefarious jinn into the bodies of all the other executives and people. Before you know it, they're running entire corporations and organizations, and that's how they function.
Get in the comment section, let me know what you think about that. Me personally, I believe that's some of the truth. It's not all true, you know, it's just bits and parts that could be true, like the jinn part. Yeah, they could be fallen ones. If not fallen ones, they could be demons. Let me know your opinion in the comments.
Phenomenon is called digital kidnapping, and yes, it is as scary as it sounds. As parents, we love to take photos of our kids and post them. It's a great way to keep our family and friends in the loop. But now experts are issuing this new alert that bad guys are using our posts against us to track our children. This morning, you're about to see how they do it.
The baby catching.
From Facebook to Instagram, parents sharing their children's lives online. But now the new world crime, digital kidnapping, predators stealing your kids' photos and spreading them online. This stranger posting on Facebook claiming this girl was his daughter. In another recent case, a child's photo was tagged on a porn site. Turns out most of us are putting our own families at risk, and we have no idea. You post all the time.
Yeah, I like to post about the kids.
That's Michelle and Reese. They think we're doing a general story about social media. What they don't know, back in Ohio, cyber safety expert Jesse Weinberger is poring over their social media pages, checking for private information. So what do you find here?
Through Mom's Facebook account and everything that she's posted, I was able to find out husband's name, children's names. She has 2 children. I know their ages. I know their dates of birth. I know where they go to school. I have the address of the school. I have the name of the teacher. I know exactly which playgrounds they visit, how often they like.
Have you seen someone with a bigger jaw than this? The Hapsburg jaw, also known as mandibular prognathism, is a distinct physical condition characterized by a protruding lower jaw and often an underbite. This condition became particularly notable in the Hapsburg dynasty, a royal family that ruled over much of Europe from the 15th to the 20th century. How did it get so bad for the Hapsburg family? The answer is simple: many generations of inbreeding. 9 out of the 11 total marriages that occurred among them during the 184 years they ruled Spain from 1516 to 1700 were incestuous. Even when the first Spanish Habsburg ruler, Charles V, arrived in Spain in 1516, he couldn't fully close his mouth due to his Habsburg jaw. This reportedly caused one bold peasant to shout at him, "Your Majesty, shut your mouth! The flies of this country are very insolent." In fact, modern researchers widely state the infamous Habsburg jaw deformity ultimately caused their downfall. The family's genetic line progressively deteriorated until Charles II, the final male heir, who was physically incapable of producing children, thus bringing an end to Habsburg rule in Spain.
Dang. Now, if you know somebody who has a Hapsburg jaw, now you know why.
Hey, I had a kid ask me a good question. He said, why does Denzel, Samuel Jackson, Lawrence Fishburne, and so many other people, why are they still acting they're old? And I said, that's a good question. So then a thought hit me in the head, which was the Holy Spirit, which was this. It's not that these guys enjoy acting. The thing is it's not that I even think that they enjoy the money. The thing is they have to finish out the contract that they once started. They have to fulfill their side of the deal. If Hasatan gives them the money, the fame, the promises, and the acknowledgement, they have to finish what they're doing. There was an interview with Bob Dylan, and this is a strange interview, but it still rings true today. The reason why these celebrities still go on tours, the reason why they're still active, the reason why they're still singing, the reason why they're still doing reunion tours and singing, rapping, whatever they do, it is because they are puppets. Bob Dylan said that it was a thing that he had to come to terms with a long time ago, something he made a deal with. And he said the chief commander, we know who the chief commander is. And that explains a lot of why Denzel won't stop doing movies. Now, I know a lot of people say, he's an ordained minister. We're not going to dig into that. But the reason why he still does these movies that are completely anti-Christ is because he knows who his master is. He made a contract. He made a deal a long time ago, and he has to finish that deal until his days are done. You see, you never want to believe the fact that people actually love the business. They do not love the business. That's why a lot of them are driven to drinking, drugs, so many others. And you see the fall of some of these celebrities like Heath Ledger, so many others. It is simply because they have to finish out what they've done. If you sign a deal today, there are a set number of years. There are a set number of things that you have to do and adhere to. There are things you can't say. And you must be a part of the brotherhood. These are facts. These are facts. So when you see a lot of your, old school loves, like, just going back to like James Brown and so many others, even Janet Jackson today, it's not because they're going broke. It's not because they love to do it. It is because they are owned. A lot of your celebrities have these star tattoos. A lot of them have star rings, star memorabilia, and it just lets you know that an angel is over and in charge of their lives. That's why they have the Hollywood Walk of Fame, the star, right? The Golden Globe Award, that bald golden image, that goes back to Egypt. They can't stop doing what they're doing. So when you see 3 6 Mafia, so many others coming back together after so many years and doing this, that, and others, because they are puppets. They have to dance for the master. I want you to think about that. The kid asked a very good question, and it makes a lot of sense.
Big facts, man. These celebrities do all this and do that. You think that they, making these sounds and making these chants, as songs and putting it out, dressing in these certain costumes, wearing this certain makeup in their videos and in their concerts. You think they just doing that just because, you know, they want to do that? No, man. They paying homage to their one and true master. You know, if you seen the video on TikTok or on YouTube with, I believe his name was Matt Dillon, and he was talking about how they make the deal with the chief enforcer, and their chief enforcer is the chief of this world. In their opinion, the chief of this world, the one that runs everything in this world, which is the devil, you know, Satan. They make that deal with them, excuse me, and they allegedly sell their soul, you know, for the riches and fame. And then eventually, you know, after they fulfill their obligation, you know, they got to pay the piper. You know, it's time to, you know, get up out of here. And that's what happens. You know, we see this all the time, especially nowadays. Like, it's getting like more and more and more exposed to the masses. But hey, you take what you want from that video, from this video, you know what I'm saying, this whole video as a whole, this whole compilation, and let me know what you think about that. I hope y'all enjoyed it. And like I always say, catch me in the next video. It's your boy Coozie. I'm out. Holla.